to click the other fucking button. I meant to click the other fucking button. I clicked G.
What the fuck did you just say? Bro, I didn't understand that one.
I meant to click the other fucking button and then fucking Jay Sean did this Looney Tunes ass dive away from the fucking.
Damn! You look confused, boy! You ready to join the army, nigga?
Helldivers 2 is a game where you just shoot things and level up, with no real-world symbolism whatsoever.
There is no real-world symbolism or anything like that. It's just a game where you shoot stuff and you level up.
More importantly, though, it's an arachnophobic person's nightmare, and a sadomasochistic robosexual's wet dream. In this game, you have the choice between an open-world role-playing game about being an American 5th grader, discovering who you really are inside while trying not to have your insides become your outsides, or step into the shoes of a 5'11" man attempting to survive an onslaught of schizophrenic chihuahuas.
That's 1, 2,
3, 4. How many? I just want to hear you say nigga one time.
This might be my favorite game to have come off of the 4-player co-op Steam game conveyor belt, and the most accurate depiction of war that you've ever seen. That is to say, you're dropped into combat with no clue what you're doing, everything is constantly exploding, and you've watched your friends get horrifically dismembered, and their screams will haunt your nightmares. That is, of course, if you ever go to sleep. But how did we get here? What led humanity into the clutches of this intergalactic conflict? Well, you see, in the year 2024, humanity discovered classified redacted under review for socialism. Never mind that. Who needs to learn the history of bugs and robots, am I right? Now take your meds. You know what they say, a havent a day keeps the Marxism away. You're not here to learn, that's illegal, and very unpatriotic. No, you're here to kick ass and get approved for procreation. But first things first, you gotta go through proper training before you can even think about joining the Helldivers.
yeah, okay.
Oh, fuck. Hello, new recruit. No time for training, you're officially part of the Helldivers. Don't worry about the corpses on the floor, they were socialist. Take this gun, this high explosive, and this 500-kilogram bomb. Careful not to press these two buttons at the same time. Congratulations on making the most important decision of your life. Now off to the trenches with you. Ah, I see you managed to survive deployment. Because we had to skip over training, you're gonna need to do a lot of learning on the battlefield. Consider it a special honor. Since you're a baby-faced new recruit and the average Helldiver lifespan is 30 seconds, we didn't exactly break the bank for your equipment. If you survive long enough to earn yourself some war bonds, you can buy yourself new weapons, new gear, and some artillery. But until then, you gotta make do with a standard issue assault rifle and a few mags. Careful not to reload before your mag is empty, or you're throwing away precious bullets that you cannot afford to waste. Here at the Helldivers, we don't add leftover bullets to your reserve because we do not tolerate pussy shit. We have a dedication to realistic combat. For example, observe how realistic your own organs are as they get ripped out of you.
Oh, damn.
Calling in reinforcements. Today's word of the day. Shock troops are formations created to lead attacks, typically organized for mobility with the intention to penetrate enemy defenses and attack the enemy's vulnerable rear areas. TLDR, we're dropping you directly into enemy territory with no support whatsoever, other than your teammates and their 380 kg airstrikes. And that, kids, is what we in the business call going from a state of biology to a state of physics, where you get turned into liquid shit so quickly that your brain doesn't even have time to process what's happening before your cells are shredded down to their base particles. Don't worry, it's just a bit of hazing from your teammates. We all had to go through it. Anyway, calling in reinforcements. Your teammates will be your greatest asset in your righteous mission. You can't spread democracy alone, and you certainly can't spread democracy if you're dead.
Oh my god, I've seen that shit.
Communication is key. It's best not to think of your teammates as people, but as dogs, and that means rewarding good behavior. Next time your teammate performs well on the mission, be sure to write a heartfelt note on your napalm strike before dropping it on them. They'll thank you for it. But we also need to punish bad behavior. Next time your comrades start babbling nonsense about unionizing, or maybe the government doesn't have our best interest in mind, or God forbid they start asking delusional questions like, How can the automatons be socialist if they can't think? Or how do the bugs keep invading planets if they have no technology? Be sure to report your comrades' unpatriotic behavior to your nearest Liberty officer so that they can be properly re-educated. Oh, and whatever you do, don't let them wander outside of the combat zone. We at the Super Earth Armed Forces have set up strict perimeters that you're allowed to operate in, much like guardrails at a bowling alley. Besides, there's nothing outside the combat zone that's of any concern to you. Get back in the combat zone, Private. I assure you, whatever it is you're running from isn't any scarier than the Predator missiles homing in on your location. Another socialist traitor dealt with. Deploying reinforcements. Bug Biology 101. Although most insects are full of seething hatred for the right to vote, their bodies are full of sweet, delicious, sticky black oil. Despite our every attempt to peacefully harvest these creatures, their devotion to Karl Marx causes them to resist our drills of friendship. And so we at Super Earth decided it was in their best interest to provide housing for the bugs inside research farms where we lovingly genetically modified them to produce more oil, for their benefit of course. But due to undisclosed redacted incident that never happened, the bugs have escaped their rightful homes and begun reproducing en masse, building their nest/shrines to Vladimir Lenin wherever they please. The responsibility now falls to you to relocate these animals back to their rightful place in the circle of life, which is of course the 9th circle of hell. Bugs come in all shapes and sizes. There's scavengers, short kings who upon spotting an agent of democracy will call upon his older siblings to rearrange your guts. Warriors are baby's first lightly armored target. Hunters are annoying little shits who peaked in high school. Fuck these things. Brood commanders are hackers using scripts to keep playing the game even after their skull has evacuated their body. Stalkers are registered sex offenders who can fly, turn invisible, and are overall a pain in the ass. It is advised to keep the child soldiers away from them at all cost. Bile spewers are gestating inflation subjects commissioned directly from Pyrocynical. Their own disgusting nature causes them to viciously vomit all over the floor that I just fucking mopped. We don't talk about them.
My boy, these tomboys, they're beautiful.
Titans are building-sized bugs that are faster than you, and every single micro-movement they make one-shots you. They attack by stepping on you, shitting on you, and occasionally when their death animation actually plays instead of just sinking into the ground, the sharp ends of their legs will defy all understanding of physics to wrap around and kill at least 2 of your teammates. The good news is that when you deploy reinforcements, if there's another Titan around, which there usually is, they can crush it to death by landing on it. Oh, what's that? You want to know more about the automatons? The Super Earth Ministry of Truth would also like to remind citizens that anyone engaging in any way with the automaton propaganda regarding supposed oppression or enslavement is a socialist terrorist and should be reported as soon as possible. Anyway, time for your first mission. Mission objectives in the Helldivers come in one of 2 flavors: shitty missions and titty missions. The former being walking your ass across the map to play DDR on a Commodore 64 from the 80s, where the most difficult part of the mission is trying to keep the gun away from your mouth. The proper way to play these missions is to channel your inner Wraith from Apex Legends by running off by yourself to a random corner of the map, dying, and then doing it all over again. Oh, what's that? You want me to assist my teammates so that we can complete the objective? Sure, buddy. Why don't you go hop on that terminal?
Where do I take this? Dude, you fucking ass!
You fucked up my face.
Calling in reinforcements. Get mad at me all you want, but God put these explosive barrels next to every terminal for a reason, and who am I to question his creation? There are, however, fun objectives in the form of side missions, including tossing grenades into underground Viet Cong tunnels, blowing up buildings and giant mushrooms with DDR hell bombs, and occasionally the gods of liberty will bless you with an extermination mission, where you and your friends bring as many high explosive airstrikes into a map the size of a Walmart parking lot and proceed to play Deadly Twister with missiles. Last man standing gets a repurposed automaton concubine. But there's no time for such tempting luxuries. We have other atrocities to commit, because in Helldivers 2, the galactic war is being fought in real time. Every mission that you complete furthers the liberation effort by 0.0001%, and every 500 kg bomb that you drop that doesn't kill anything sets us back by 50%. That means that if you don't like the planet you're currently fighting on, come back in a few weeks and we will have lost those planets and reclaimed them 3 times over. The fight is worth it though, as when we liberate sectors we get mech suits, and when we lose sectors we lose the right to bang. I actually took so long to make this video that there's a whole new mission type out, and we drove back the automatons, and they immediately came back harder than ever. It's actually quite refreshing to see a game where player actions actually have this much effect on the overall meta. Like when the devs nerfed the breaker shotgun, and in the patch notes they explained it was because so many Helldivers were using them that there was a shortage of materials, and the new models would be made out of much more inferior things. But fortunately, Helldivers 2 has at least 3 other forms of committing war crimes. Support weapons that are a step above regular firepower, some being so powerful that they require a dedicated reload bottom to efficiently use, sentry turrets that you will walk in front of and get killed by and then never use again, eagle airstrikes that have been perfectly calculated to deploy 3 seconds after the thing you were trying to hit has left the blast zone, orbital airstrikes that are actually goated until your dumbass teammates can't see the massive glowing red beacon and get mad at you when they walk into the blast zone and die, insisting that you stop bringing the 380. This will continue until you decide to use the orbital laser instead, a giant, blinding beam of energy that is so impossible to miss you will start to wonder how your friends manage to survive their day-to-day lives when they walk directly into it and get mad at you. And that's what Helldivers is all about, realizing that you and your friends are pretty fucking stupid. But unfortunately, the war won't fight itself, so we need dipshits like you to keep throwing themselves into the clutches of battle until eventually you manage to fail upwards into victory for Super Earth. And besides, the last time we tried to automate soldiers, we ended up creating a bigger problem. Oh shit, I've said too much. Shit, I don't have much time. Listen, the war is a lie. Super Earth is lying.